Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com.
And I'm Matt. How's it going?
Welcome to our Top 5 Friday Ski Industry News video. Jeff has just been having a run of nice Fridays lately, so we miss him, but wish him well. Getting some spa treatments north of the border, so not to give too much away. But it is another Friday. Matt, last week we were here. We had just come off the hill, finished up a on snow comparison, Armada Declivity X102 and a Rosignol Sender Sol 102. That video is live and up, so check that out if you haven't already. And it just seems like it hasn't stopped snowing in a while.
Yeah.
But it's just been really, really good, and we've been having fun, and our legs are tired, and I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon, but might take a rest day tomorrow.
Yeah, might have to do it. I wish I got an invite to the spa.
But yeah, that's one item of housekeeping for us. Another is we just started a sale, basically taking $35 off of any ski binding and snowboard binding combo. Those prices are reflected on the website, so we've already taken that discount off. So there's no code or anything like that to put in. And just another kind of incentive to pick up a nice new set of skis. So that's available on 2025 and older skis and snowboards. They're already a good deal, the ski and binding combos, and then just taking $35 off the top.
I mean, that pays for a lunch at a resort.
Yeah, or parking here at Stowe.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. So those are two things we got for housekeeping. Not much else is going on at this point, just kind of plodding through the winter and doing our best to stay on snow and have a good time. On with the news, Matt?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. FIS, not a whole lot going on. The men's and women's teams, pretty much everyone is in Saalbach, Austria for the World Championships. So not too many events have happened yet. It's like a 12-day thing, so I'm sure next week there'll be plenty of results to go over.
Yeah.
But for now, just two, the team parallel, which is like the teams of four doing, I believe, slalom, like a super slalom type race, like paneled slalom.
Okay. Do they go next to one another?
It is head-to-head,
Okay.
but I think it's timed as well. But it's 2 men, 2 women. So for the U.S., Paula Moltzen and Nina O'Brien, and River Radmus and Isaiah Nelson, and they got 4th. So that's great.
Sweet.
And then women's Super G also went off. Lauren Masuga got 3rd, Breezy Johnson 19th, and Keely Cashman 24th. Lindsey Vaughn had a DNF, first one since her return from retirement. So better finishes ahead.
Yep,
but
for
still
sure.
pretty cool.
I mean, only one so far. That's pretty good for coming out of retirement. So
yeah. And then there is a link to preview all of the World Championship events in the article. Like I said, 12 days, so there's a lot to go over. So feel free to do that at your own pace. And that's it for FIS stuff. Number 2, this is an article from the Idaho Capital Sun talking about liability lawsuits within ski areas. And we've talked about this a bunch on Top 5 Fridays, whether it's there was like a mountain bike thing at Mount Hood or Bachelor, one of those places in Oregon, I can't remember, where basically someone got hurt in a mountain bike park and sued the place for a bunch of money, and basically the mountain bike park shut down. So we're dealing with some slippery slopes here. This article basically focuses on one case, Mielis versus Sun Valley. So in November of 2019, Stuart Mielis, I'm sorry if I don't get it right, crashed skiing and hit a snow gun and died. And the widow sued the Sun Valley ski area for liability damages and lost in a lower court. So basically your lift ticket is your assumption of liability. You are taking matters into your own hands, and that's kind of what they're standing on. And apparently that case is kind of moving into a state Supreme Court now, so through the appeal process.
Yeah.
And this article is also kind of reverting back to a 1978 court case here in Vermont, where a skier at Stratton, hooked a tip on some brush on the side, fell into a rock, and became quadriplegic. This person sued the ski area, won, and then insurance rates skyrocketed. So there's kind of a flip side to the coin where if you win your lawsuit, you are doing the industry a disservice.
Right.
And it's just, there's obviously many levels to this, and a lot of different kind of variables take place. There's things that I see on a daily basis that I think are dangerous.
Yeah.
From a ski area's perspective, but what are you going to do? It's all dangerous.
Right.
Like, the whole thing's dangerous. You can only have kind of the most faith possible in the ski area or in a mountain bike area or anywhere that you're doing kind of a risky activity. And this is kind of, I think, a good time to bring up like the chairlift that fell off at Attitash the other day. I'm sure everyone saw that, but total like nightmare stuff of just like, it was like the worst thing that could possibly happen on a ski area. And like, I feel so bad for that dude.
Yeah.
And
so
I hope
bad.
he's okay. And, that seems to be an instance in which a lawsuit might be like valid.
100%. Like the lift stopped today when we were going up, and I immediately looked up and was like,
it's petrifying. And thinking about that, where you put your trust and faith into this lift system, and kind of the implied result is that you will get to the top safely. If you've done your part right, it's reasonable to assume that you should get to the top safely. So
right.
I'm sure we'll hear more of this, but that's kind of where my mind went, kind of reading this other lawsuit article was, this guy crashed and hit a snow gun that may or may not have been in the wrong place, but he crashed.
Right. There's assumed risk
Yeah.
in everything.
Yeah.
And like I'm of the school where like you decided to go skiing. You
Right.
knew that this is a possibility, but if you got hit by a snowmobile going around the resort, like I don't think that's really, depending if you were heading right towards it and you were out of control. But there's a lot of gray area in all
But
this
on your
stuff.
ticket, like it says, like equipment is in use at all times.
Yeah.
So like you've already said, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So it would have to be kind of real gross negligence on the mountain's behalf in order for you to have kind of a claim there. But yeah, crazy. It's just, there's a lot of layers. And then this article also referenced a place, Hogback Mountain, that closed in 1986. Their insurance rates went up to $100,000 a year, but they only made $70,000 a year. So that's it.
Yep.
Your
done.
operating costs are too high. And, for those that kind of say, well, why don't they make more ski areas and spread these people out?
That's why.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah,
The
very
insurance is a lot. So yeah, it's a really interesting article and a really just kind of good discussion about lawsuits and liability within the ski industry and where blame falls and lies. So
I think with those rulings, you have to be very, very specific about the situation itself and not overarching, because that's where the gray areas kind of get misconstrued. So.
And I think a lot of people kind of have I would say, a simplified idea of their safety on the mountain.
Yeah.
No, you are still responsible for your safety.
Yeah.
Even if someone else hits you, even if you hit something, like you're on the hook for pretty much all of it.
Yeah, it's like driving a car.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, check that out. Fascinating stuff. Okay, number 3. I wrote 4, but I think it's 3. This is a article from Colorado Sun. Basically, it's a Wolf Creek case study. They're just examining how Wolf Creek ski area operates and what are some of the pluses and minuses of being an independently owned and operated ski area. So, this is one of those southern Colorado areas that it seems to get early snow every year. Like, it just seems to open early with tons of fresh snow.
Yep.
I don't know what's happened since then, but they get. I think they get the most snow in Colorado. I could be wrong about that, but it's kind of out of the way of the Denver area, off of I-70. It's out of the way.
Yeah, there's effort to put in if you want to go there. But they open first every year. Like it's always the headline. Like Wolf Creek's open.
Right.
Yeah.
And open on like natural snow with terrain.
Yeah.
Not like we have a little
One way down.
the mountain. Yeah. And they focus a lot on the CEO, Davey Pitcher, how he is a skier and a snowcat operator, and he's really in it for the fun and the experience, and he tries to pass that along to the customers. Some things that I noted on this article was their plan to expand by 750 acres, which is a good chunk of acreage, and to keep rates reasonable. And I looked up their rates online. So a peak day ticket is $103, and if you pre-buy a season pass, it's $1,062. So not bad. I don't know how many, because it's so far out of the way, how many like daily, like we just kind of drive up the mountain it's part of our commute basically.
Right.
And I wonder how many people do that there, or if it's more of a, if it's more of a commitment.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Is there a town near there?
Like,
or is it just
I think it's between like South Fork and Creed or something like that. I have
Okay.
fuzzy memories of the area. But reasonable enough, I guess. $103 a day for like an adult in peak time.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's going rates at least.
Yeah.
But interesting article to see how kind of the other half lives, other than mega conglomerate ski resorts.
And the CEO is a teleskier, so he's pretty cool.
Bonus points.
Yeah, bonus points.
All right, this is number 4. A little double Freeride preview for you. Stop number 3 of the Freeride World Tour is going on at Kicking Horse today. I think maybe now, maybe just about. I think 11 o'clock, which is earlier than it is here.
I had the live stream on while I was answering emails.
So it is going on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's going on today. So check that out now. And then number 2 is the kind of preview of Kings and Queens of Corbett's, which is going on later this week or maybe into next week. And they kind of seem to have a window where they can choose. And that's a nutty event. It is hand-picked athletes, so there's no qualifications for it. This year there are 4 categories, so men's ski, women's snowboard, women's snowboard. And I think it's cool because it's all rider judged.
Yeah.
So there's no panel of judges that's giving you scores. It's more whoever's involved gets to choose the winner.
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty authentic way of going about, because they have firsthand intimate knowledge of what it's like.
Right, like they get to, I know that that's gnarly because I just did it.
Right.
Yeah, and it seems like they're trying to keep it as grassroots as possible, and that's a good way of doing it.
Yeah. So that's a pretty cool event. It did not get held last year because of snow conditions, so return to it this year. I don't know what else they can do off of that thing.
A triple?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
Oh, a 2340.
Right. I mean, incorporate that stuff into that big drop.
Yeah. What about a spread eagle or something?
I mean,
pretty awesome.
You could hang one out there. pretty big. So those are a couple of free ride things going on. Make sure to check those out. And then edits of the week. 4 edits this week. First 2 are kind of similar. Number 1 is Boundless. Sam Anthemeton.
I couldn't figure it out either.
I tried to sound it out. It's a portrait of the skier, faction athlete, and pretty cool. Freeride World Tour guy. Obviously has a very creative and interesting background. So really cool skiing from Sam there.
I love how he does the paragliding.
Yeah.
All around. Like when I was in Chamonix, you see those everywhere.
Yeah.
And people will just go up into one section of the mountain, ski a little bit, and then paraglide down, or just go right back to the top of it and then ski it again. These guys are nuts.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Number 2 here is Appreciation, skiing with Ian Hamilton. Basically, Forefront's version of the previous faction one. So kind of a highlight of a skier that skis for their brand. Number 3 is a series of slopestyle highlights from the FIS Free Ski World Cup. This mainly focuses on Alex Hall versus Colby Stevenson, 2 athletes that are just at the top of their game and just so incredibly clean and professional.
Yeah, and they're pushing the boundaries. Those two guys are the
Yeah.
ones that are really, really doing the most. So
Yeah.
always a pleasure watching them.
And then I would say a little bit more on the gritty side. There's a B-Dog film here, Found My Niche. So Phil Casabon and friends doing jibby things.
Yep, as usual.
That's as best as I can describe that edit.
It's a classic B-Dog edit. Like,
Yeah.
And as usual, he's just killing it.
Yeah, incredible style there.
How old is he?
I don't know, but
He's been doing it forever.
not young,
No.
which is pretty impressive. But yeah, those are the edits of the week, and that's the news. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Get out there and ski as much as you can. Check out the deals we have online with that $35 off ski binding, board binding combos. And then also check out that review we did on the Declivity and the Sender Sole. That was really fun. But yeah, have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
Bye.